Now, some of y'all are probably looking at this image and wondering who in the world is this woman? I wondered the same thing when I first learned about this. But this woman's name is Claudia Tenney, and she has pushed or is trying to push a bill to get Trump's birthday acknowledged as a federal holiday. In case y'all are unaware, Trump's birthday is on June 14th. And it literally would lap in with another day that's already there on the calendar, which is called Flag Day. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Flag Day is one of those days that's on the calendar that no one really acknowledges. It's just there. I can't even tell you what Flag Day really is all about, but I'm guessing it does have something to do with the United States. I'm not exactly sure what Flag Day is all about. I wonder if it has anything to do with maybe when they first acknowledged the creation of the United States flag. Maybe someone can let me know down in the comments. But it's one of those days that is like, okay, it's not a day where people take off work. But is trying to push a bill where Trump's birthday will fall on the same day. It'll overlap it, and federalizing it means people would be able to be off that day. Now, I want y'all to put a pin in that because it's something that I noticed when I came to the conclusion of them wanting to federalize Trump's birthday. But I'm gonna go ahead now and read this article from MSNBC. It says it might not be one of the most widely celebrated American holidays, but Flag Day exists. On June 14, 1777, the Continental Congress approved the design of a national flag, and as such, every June 14th, there's a largely ignored commemoration marking the occasion. So I was pretty much correct about what the day represents. It's also coincidentally Donald Trump's birthday, evidently, as HuffPost noted. This gave one of the president's more sycophantic congressional allies an idea. Representative Claudia Tenney out of New York wants President Donald Trump's birthday to be a federal holiday. On Friday, the New York Congresswoman introduced in a news release what she called Trump's Birthday and Flag Day Holiday Establishment Act, which would permanently codify June 14th as a federal holiday called Trump's Birthday and Flag Day. Now, notice what they put in front of it. Flag Day was there first. It got acknowledged centuries ago. But they're putting Trump ahead of it. That way, they'll let you know what they feel is more important or more emphasis on that day, which is his birthday. According to the release, in case there are any doubts, this isn't intended as satire. The New York Republican really did introduce an actual bill, H.R. 1395, which does not yet have any co-sponsors, though it seems safe to assume other far-right GOP lawmakers will soon follow suit. By way of an explanation, Tenney issued a press statement saying that her proposal has merit because, as she put it, no modern president has been more pivotal for our country than Donald J. Trump. As both our 45th and 47th president, he is the most consequential president in modern American history. The GOP congresswoman, in apparent seriousness, added that recognizing Trump's birthday as a federal holiday would, quote, recognize him as the founder of America's golden age. As the youngins say, the glazing is real. To be sure, it's tempting to ignore this silly legislative effort, which will almost certainly go ignored, but there's a larger pattern that's worth appreciating. After all, Tenney's bill comes on the heels of a bill intended to carve Trump's face into Mount Rushmore, which came on the heels of another measure to allow Trump to seek a third term. There are also pending bills to rename Dulles Airport after Trump, an effort, incidentally, that Tenney has also endorsed, as well as legislation to, quote, expunge Trump's first two impeachments. In the last Congress, a Republican pushed a bill to put Trump's face on $500 bills. And while the effort hasn't yet been reintroduced in the current Congress, it's probably only a matter of time. As the New York Times recently summarized, a competition of sorts has broken out for whom the Republican base will see as the most pro-Trump member. From the article, the rush of flattering legislation, some of which even the lawmakers concede is unlikely to pass, stands apart from merely carrying out Mr. Trump's agenda. It shows the power that Donald Trump has within the Republican Party these days, and that Republican members want to stay on his good side, said Sean M. Theriault, government professor at the University of Texas at Austin. A lot of these people are in really safe districts, but they're also thinking about what their next step is. And so if they have designs on being the Senate or running for governor or even a position in the administration, then there's no better way to get on his good side than to do those over the top moves toward him. And that is a fact. Basically, be the biggest ass kisser that you can be. This was published before a New York congresswoman pushed her proposal to make Trump's birthday a federal holiday. I reminded anew of the response to the Ogles bill from Philippe Camponte, a professor at Johns Hopkins University. The reason why this is bad is the very fact that it's transparently ridiculous. It shows how this is becoming a Kim Jong-un style cult of personality, where the sycophants try to outdo one another in their groveling to get the attention of said dear leader. That competition, alas, appears likely to get more intense. So that's basically what it is. That's why I said all you can really do is laugh at this. Now, remember what I told you about putting a pin in them federalizing Trump's birthday on the same day as Flag Day? Watch this right here as I pulled up the June calendar. So as you can see right here, this is the June 2025 calendar. Now, let's hypothetically say that they were to federalize Trump's birthday this year. Let's hypothetically say they actually did it. That means that with his birthday being on the 14th and they federalize it, which means government is closed that day. Well, they will most likely, because it's a Saturday, they will close the government on that Friday, which ironically this year is on the 13th. Well, the 13th is on Friday in June this year. At least that's the first Friday, the 13th, as far as I know. Then you got to fast forward. That means, before I go there, that means they would have a 3-day weekend, the 13th through the 15th. Fast forward to Thursday, June 19th, which we all know was Juneteenth, which got federalized under the Biden administration. That's another day they have off right there. And then because it falls on a Thursday, some of them may not even want to go into work that Friday. So that means if they don't go into work that Friday, they just happen to call off. That means they now have a 3-day work week and a 4-day weekend. And then if you keep fast forwarding past the week of the 22nd and going into the week of the 29th, you see those empty squares right there? The Tuesday would be the first day of July. The second would be on Wednesday. The Thursday would be the third. And guess what? That Friday is the fourth, which means that that's another 3-day weekend. Because as we all know, July 4th is also a federal holiday. Let me just put this into perspective, and this is just me being petty with this right quick. These mofos don't care if Trump's birthday is federalized or not. They care about it because that means that's another day off for them in the month of June. And like I said, hypothetically, let's say they pushed that and that ridiculous act actually went through. Look at how many days off they would have in the month of June. They would barely be working. So I see the play at work here. Because like I said, when they federalized Juneteenth, we didn't ask for the Biden administration to federalize Juneteenth. But that didn't mean the people that was opposed of Juneteenth wasn't going to take full advantage of being off that day. So, hey, why not add on another day to be off? That's really how I see it. I could be wrong, but something tells me I could very much be right. This is hilarious. This is nothing but a clown show at work here. And like the article stated at the end, these are all individuals who are climbing over each other like the zombies in World War Z, trying to get Trump's approval, or like I said, who can be the better brown noser. That's really all this is at the end of the day. Like they are all fighting over the same booby prize. That's a sad existence to have, in my honest opinion.